What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Business Breakthrough. In this episode, I sit down with Matt Shank, and I know I tell you guys every so often that this is one of my favorite business breakthroughs, but this one really is one of my favorite business breakthroughs. I mean, Matt is in a unique situation. He's got his brother working alongside him. He left the company he was unhappy with, wanted to start his own business, has been trudging along, but really just needed some guidance on next steps. You know, a lot of us are at different stages. I've learned that everyone's at a different stage. Matt's at a stage that I feel like he's one or two or maybe three really good decisions and a little bit of an investment away from really getting some serious momentum. I think a lot of us are where Matt is. So I'd love to just tell you, hey, listen to this one twice. It's one of those that you might want to catch twice if you can. Take some mental notes and jot down some things that you felt would be beneficial for you because we covered a lot. So enjoy this business breakthrough. And real quick, if you want to join me on a business breakthrough, please reach out. You can message me on Instagram. There's also a link, I believe, below the podcast where you could just book a time, and would love to help you in any area that you're struggling in your business. Absolutely free, no charge, just with the benefit of me being able to share it with everyone else. So if you're up for that, I'd love to chat with you. Without further ado, enjoy this business breakthrough. The big question you need to ask yourself every day is, do I own a job or do I own a business? And unfortunately, the majority of contractors out there own a job. That's right, they're a slave to their own business. But the other side of the fence is so much greener, it's so much better, and that's when you're finally fully in control of your destiny, your freedom, your time. And that's what Contractor Secrets is about. It's about taking back our time, building a business with systems, standards, values, procedures, putting yourself in the driver's seat. And that's what it's about. So I'm excited. I'm happy to have you here. Let's dive into the Contractor Secrets podcast. All right, what's going on, everyone? I'm here with Matt with Shank Painting out in Oregon. We have just completed a Dripjobs onboarding, and it just came up that we would knock out a business breakthrough at the same time. First off, what do you think about Dripjobs?
Oh man, I'm pumped to have it. I'm pumped for the time I'm going to have back to be able to spend with my family and not just be sitting there writing out texts to people. And I'm stoked. My kid's going to be stoked. I'm pumped to be working with you.
Love it, dude. Easy to use.
Oh my goodness, dude. It's streamlined. It's a better communicator than me. I love it. I'm glad to outsource it.
Dude, I appreciate that. So anyway, so let's dive in, man. So business breakthrough, man. Usually when I start these, I really just kind of, and since you and I've been talking, I kind of got to feel, really, I can kind of break down where you are. It's you and another person. I know you're doing the painting. I know you're kind of all over the place. So what's the area of your business that you really feel like you would want to capitalize on? Like, what is that area for you that you're just like, man, I need to get over this hump?
For me, it's really just like the lead generation and also my sales process, probably. And just like,
Okay.
I'm just going to go with my lack of success in really nailing those leads down has been in my poor sales process. And maybe just doing more of an intake to try to like really see where the customer's at before we get to that point. So I'm not, walking into a bid that's just going to for sure not work out, where I could have just asked a few questions on a phone call and saved us both a pile of time,
Well, let me ask you this. What questions are you wanting to ask on the phone call?
Man, this sounds bad, but like, I just know there's a ton of people that are just looking for the lowest number. So I try to get a feel for that kind of, you know what I mean? Just like, do you guys have a budget for this project or?
That worries me big time. Worries me big
All right.
time. You are not in a position right now at all to be filtering out opportunity. Okay.
Gotcha.
And that's something that I think a lot of contractors do, because most guys take it personally that people don't value the trade enough, in their words, to pay the money that they believe should be paid for the services, in a sense, and your time. The thing about it is the reason why you want to do that is because you're operating in so many different channels right now with production, answering the phone, all these things. We alleviated a little bit of your responsibility with Dripjobs, but
Yes, sir.
where I'm getting at is that you see it as, if I'm going to drive all the way out there, it better be worth my time, right?
Mostly just like, I just try to find out, it's like, if you guys are just going to go with the lowest bid, I know it's not going to be me, period. So like,
right. But listen, but hear me out. every opportunity from now until you hit 500,000 in a year is valuable, dude. First of
Yeah.
all, number one, it's practice. That's number one, bro. You
Yeah,
need
true that.
practice. You need practice. I never turned anyone down. I don't care if somebody told me, bro, that they wanted their front door painted. I wasn't going there with the mindset that I was just going to quote a front door, dude. I was going
Yeah.
there with the mindset that I was going to sell them on the whole house.
Yeah, the paint in the
You
front
see the
door is a foot in the door with those people. Yeah.
it's an opportunity. You have to understand a couple of things about people, and the biggest word that you need when it comes to your sales process is value. You have to build it. It doesn't exist until you create it. You understand? First
Yeah.
of all, you're the professional. They don't understand what's going on. Usually, they just see a picture on Pinterest, and then what? They
Bingo.
say,
Yeah.
help me make this happen. And in their mind, number one, majority of people have never hired a professional painting contractor before. So you can't blame them for not having an idea of what it costs. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
Or like
And
they're
it's my job to alleviate that sticker shock with a firm explanation and justification of the
brother,
value
it's
there.
not even about that. First of all, it's about you because you come across as super trustworthy, super friendly. You're almost somebody that they want to be friends with rather than just like some guy coming over to give a quote. And the way you are, you don't have to be overzealous. You just have to be the way you are and say, hey, listen, I know you may have had some idea of how this project, or how much this project would cost, but let me explain to you why it's going to cost more. And I'm going to break this down for you so you really understand. First things first, let's talk interior. When you paint interior trim, tell me your process if I hired you to paint my trim.
Really easy. We're going to come in, we're going to vacuum everything so all of our tape adheres very well. We're going to mask off everything. We're going to come in, we're going to sand it, fill it, vac it, tack it, and then we're going to come in, we're going to hand brush a nice coat of enamel paint on it.
Beautiful. When you're getting a phone call and someone says, yeah, I just want my trim painted, and you do this pre-qualification of, okay, great. I mean, did you have a budget assigned to the project? And then they go, well, not really. I was, maybe I was just wanting to spend like $500. And then you go, well, listen, unfortunately, like, we're a little bit higher than the competition. You're not going to be a jerk, but you're probably like just feeling out what their budget is. They don't know that you're going to do all that stuff.
Totally got you. So before I ever let them know everything I'm doing, I'm already coming at them about, well, can you afford it? And they're like, what is it, man?
They don't know what the freak you're talking about. Like they don't understand so what you just did to me is you just sold me on why I should pick you other than the guy who gave them the idea of what they should pay. Because the reality is people are going to get more than one quote. Then the vast majority of anyone doing this is doing that just so they feel like they're not getting screwed over. And the problem is that you might be the second or third. So when they have a budget in mind, what are they basing it off of? Three things: friends and family, and yeah, usually friends and family, a previous experience, or another bid. That's it. Okay.
Yeah.
You offer a superior service. You are pretty much coming in. You're going to vacuum the baseboards that I haven't cleaned in 7 months. You're going to wipe them down so the tape adheres and make sure that, or the floors, right? So the tape adheres to the floor. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, just like the whole surface, the trim, the wall, the
right.
Like base.
So
right
what you need
it.
to be doing, and this is my passion when it comes to sales, bro, is that like you offer something very different to the vast majority of individuals who just want to hire a painter. They think everyone does it the same. In their eyes, they painted their daughter's room 6 months ago, and to them, all they did was dip the brush in and slap some paint on. It looks horrible, but that's how they see painting. Okay. You are a facilitator of an extraordinary experience. Understand humans. People naturally pay more for an extraordinary experience. Let me ask you this. What's your favorite restaurant?
Oh man, there's this spot out in Portland. It's a Brazilian spot. They come and they serve the like meat straight off the skewers to your table.
$100 minimum every time, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
$100,
dude.
Man, you're going in there. That's $100. Okay.
Oh yeah, I go in there happy to spend $100.
Exactly. But here's the thing, right? If somebody was like, hey, we're a Brazilian steakhouse, okay? We offer Brazilian food. And that restaurant you love came to you and said, hey, we're a Brazilian steakhouse and we offer Brazilian food. And you talk to them and say, okay, well, how much is it going to be? Well, the one on the right says $100 minimum. The other guy says, yeah, we could do it for $40. You and your significant other can have a great time. You wouldn't know the difference. So you would essentially, by default, naturally, as a normal human, somebody with logic would go, yeah, I'll go with the cheaper one if the experience is the same.
Yeah, exactly. If it's not going to be any different, you guys are doing the same stuff with the same
Same
product.
stuff. I'm getting Brazilian steak. That's it. Somebody who doesn't know the experience. But let's flip the script. Let's say the guy on the right who said $100 minimum said, but wait a minute, Matt, let me just explain to you what you can expect. First of all, the ambiance in our restaurant is a dim, nice, cool tone, good music playing, Brazilian music. Our servers go through a monthly training on how to cut the steak to perfection when it comes up to your table. We got rotisseries working in the back kitchen, moving this meat to where it's just sweating meat juice at all times. The meat is tender to the bone. We actually have a quality control person in the back making sure that not 1 ounce of steak goes out that is nothing less than perfection. So when it gets to your table, it's almost like it came right off the grill every single time. And just so you know,
we're at the shut up and take my money at that point. You know what I mean?
That's all I had to say, right? So then the other guy says, oh, well, yeah, it's actually just buffet style, and you just come grab your food and it's a great place to hang out, and it's like, oh, okay, I see why there's a difference. So when it comes down to your services, Matt, okay, remember what I just told you, because this is why people feel the way they do about paying more money, is because no one's doing a good enough job of explaining why they're paying more money. They're just generally seeing us as the same. You understand?
Yeah, for sure. No, I get you.
Okay. But you have to also understand who you're selling to. Okay. Because that customer that's calling, you have to understand like what the motivation is first, because you don't want to oversell, and that could happen. So let me give you an example. Hey, Matt, I'd like for you to come paint my trim. And then you come to the house and do what I told you to do. You go in there and you talk about the vacuuming, you talk about the bondoing, the sanding, you talk about everything that you're going to do to make sure that this is the best trim job they're ever going to get in their life. Yep. But you failed to ask why they want the job done. You just failed to ask. It was just one of those things and at the end, they say, yeah, Matt, actually, I'm just getting ready to move and I was just hoping to get this thing done.
Yeah, for sure. And then you go give them a quote like they're going to live in that house for the next 10 years and enjoy the job, when they're just trying to get it, coat a lipstick on it and get out of there.
You got it. So you sold in the wrong direction. So what you need to do is first identify who you're selling to. And that doesn't mean that those people aren't going to be your customers. It just means that they value something else a lot more. What do they value? Someone that's selling their house. Tell me what you think they value.
Oh, they value just, an economical job that's not going to hit their pocketbook.
I wouldn't say economical job. I wouldn't say that. They value convenience. They don't value. Yeah. They don't value the experience. They value convenience. Convenience is, when can he get this done so I can get my house listed?
Gotcha.
So the whole time that should be your focus. Say, hey, listen, I'm usually booked out 6 months, but if you want me to come in here, I may be able to tweak my schedule a little bit to get in here next week.
Yeah, for sure.
You see, you're not worried. The project, you're going to do a great job. They get that. That's not why they called you. They're calling at this point. If they're calling you for that reason, they're probably in a jam and they want to get their house sold. Same goes with people that are moving in. They can't do anything until the house is painted. Those people, yes, you want to go in a little bit about your expert level experience, and you want to talk about the convenience of being able to get it done in a quick time, because you're aligning what's important to them with what you can offer, which gives them the incentive to pay more. Does that make sense?
Yeah, bingo. If I let them know that's like, hey, you guys want in your house by this date, we can have it done 3 days before that and have everything ready to go and cleaned up so you guys can walk in, have your movers come right on in.
Even better, you could say, listen, I actually thrive when, we are put against the barrel when it comes to time frames. I will make sure this house is done, like you said, in 3 days. We'll facilitate everything. Even if you have other trades coming in, I can be the guy you trust to just make sure they're doing a good job. Like those things. Remember, put yourself in the position of the buyer and you will be a phenomenal seller, because you're thinking, man, if I moved into a house, oh man, I got to get it painted and I can't move in and there's boxes and I can't do anything. If the painter that I talked to before said he's 4 weeks out, I'm frustrated. The next guy's 6 weeks out. You're probably 4 weeks out, but guess what? You have the mindset of a businessman saying, hey, I actually know that there's a couple customers that aren't in a big rush and we got some rain coming. So let
Bingo.
me
Yeah, for
let me
sure.
be creative here, and you can actually sell jobs top dollar, bro, for the convenience aspect of them being able to move in. Say, listen, I'll make it to where you can move in on the day your movers get here. Does that sound good?
I mean, I'm not even moving. It sounds great to me.
So I just want you to understand, like, first of all, you being a one-man show essentially with a helper right now, that's what I see you as, because you're probably doing most of the work.
Oh, yeah.
You do not have the luxury of turning away opportunity, because maybe you can't handle the demand, but also you need to be practicing this stuff to where when you do get a point to where you're just keeping a team busy, you're going to capitalize on your opportunity, because you're just going to be so fluid when it comes to sales. Never ever ask somebody what their budget is over the phone. Literally, that is like my one rule. It's, first of all, it's super disrespectful. Me as a good buyer, like when I'm a good buyer, bro, I will pay good for good service because I provide
Totally.
one. I understand what that is. If somebody pre-qualified me over the phone like that, I don't care who they are, bro. I would never allow them to earn my business.
I appreciate that, dude. I appreciate you telling me that, man.
I would never do it. I mean, you don't know who you're talking to. You don't know what their experiences are, that you don't know what is going on. Your job is to create the value. And remember the restaurant analogy I gave you, because in other
Perfect.
words, some people just see painting as painting.
Mhm.
They haven't been through a bad experience. They haven't gotten a bad tattoo, so they don't know to pay for a really good tattoo artist.
Yeah,
You know what
for
I'm
sure.
saying?
Yeah, definitely. I hear you, man.
Some people just see tattoo as a tattoo. I almost made that mistake when I was 16. Okay.
Oh yeah, man.
Or I think everyone had, man. There's just this guy doing tattoos, man. But thank God I didn't have any money.
Perfect.
you
A
know,
great barrier.
so yeah, so I escaped that narrowly. But essentially, I understand the concept of, there's a couple things that frame their thinking. So when it comes to your sales process, again, go in there and create the value. Give them a reason to pay more, or
Hmm.
else
See what their
logically.
motivation is.
Absolutely. So let's talk about your production, because it's you and another person. Can I ask why?
Just because, like, let's see. So my whole company was pretty much born out of like the pandemic, and like I was working on a big crew at that time that I had learned to paint from, and then I just, I had a 5-year-old at home or whatever, and I just wanted to, not be on a big crew at that time, and so I went out on my own and just started tackling houses myself entirely, and that's a lot of climbs, as I'm sure you know, and so eventually I was just able to bring on my brother as a helper, and just between like, my horrible sales process where I start off with the one question you don't ask, I just haven't been able to nail down a whole ton of leads to bring on more people to start crunching through jobs like that. And so,
Every person that calls you deserves you, because they found you and they're calling you. Don't worry about the money in the first 6 months of your business. Just get reviews, get opportunity. Like, again, you
yeah,
just don't have that luxury. Even me, dude, I'm at the point where I only turn down people if they don't want our job type. I will ask what they want done. I'm not at this point. I'm not going to just like go for a front door right now. I'm at that point now where I know we just can't do it.
yeah,
I will, I'll ask about scope. I will not talk about budget. So I'm like, if they want their deck stained, I'm like, listen, unfortunately, we are far out. We only really do full interiors, full exteriors. Would you like a quote for that? And you'll say yes or no. But I'm at
gotcha.
that stage where I'm allowed to do that. You're not.
No, but at that point, at least you're still offering a service, regardless of if you aligned with their actual
Yeah,
job
bro,
type. Period.
because
You're
some
still
way,
putting it out
somehow
there.
they found my company, bro. And like, for me, it's so valuable. Like, some people get so far deep and they think that they're like amazing, and they don't remember what it was like to be early on. We were just waiting for that phone to ring, bro. And it's like, for me,
Yeah,
I'll never lose that appreciation. So like, just again, maybe you've heard, there's other people out there who coach and say, hey, you need to pre-qualify everyone, and like, it's almost like it's you versus the customers. And I'm like, no, like you're here to serve. And maybe they just don't know. Do you know how many jobs, bro? There's one example I'll give to you, and then we'll go back to your productions. One job early on, he just wanted the front door painted, dude. He was selling his house. He thought that painting the front door would do it. Okay. I go there and I say, hey man, do you mind if I just like show you around the house? Because initially off the bat, I saw some cracking. And I say, look, this is going to come up on the inspection, just so you know. So you're going to have to get it fixed. And he's like, oh, really? Like some people just don't understand house, bro. Like you can't just expect people to understand house. Like not everyone is like us. Like they're not in the trades. They might be in finance or banking and they just suck at house. They just sleep in it,
Yeah, they
so I'm
just
like,
don't have that eye for it.
Yeah, I say, hey man, there's some moisture going to be seeping in here. Like I'm just saying, like it's going to be a red flag. It's going to be a little bit hard to sell. Normally when we paint the exterior of a house, we fill those cracks and we paint it. And he's like, oh, you know what, man? Can you just give me a quote on that? Said, perfect. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm like, just so you know, we do interior work as well. Do you want me to look through and see if there's anything that we could do? He's like, you know what? Yeah, just take a look through and see. And I'm like, yeah, well, there's a crack there, and this is coming apart here. And he's like, man, look, this is a beautiful house. Like I know you just wanted to maybe get the front door painted, but at some point or another, you ready for this, dude? This is a crusher, man. I was like, either you're going to pay to have this done, or the buyer is going to negotiate to have it done, which is probably going to be way more than what it's going to cost you to have it done.
Bingo.
And he's like, man, you're right, dude. $14,000 job, inside and outside. Man. Okay, right there. You know what I'm saying? And that was early on, and that's what framed my mindset. Is like, dude,
and you showed up for a door.
Showed up for a door. Beautiful. It's like I create opportunity. That is a salesperson. A salesperson is supposed to sell. Like you've got to sell. That is your job. And some people think that just because they're good with their hands, they can't convey value. You don't have to be like me. You just have to be you and be honest, come across transparent, spit out the facts and say, hey, listen, some other guy might come in here and just put paint here, but let me explain to you what we're doing. We're going to Bondo these cracks here. We're going to fill these little holes. We're going to put 2 coats of enamel on here. It's going to be flawless. We're going to wear booties on our shoes to make sure we don't track in dirt. Those things are valuable.
Definitely.
Hey, I can see you have really, really nice plants here. What kind of plant is that? Oh, it's a meridian. I'm not a green thumb. Could be a plant. Don't Google it. It's a meridian or whatever the heck. Okay. And then they'll say, oh, my great grandfather actually gave me the seed when I was, 3 years old, and I took it with me on all the houses. And, it's just so important. I say, you know what, guess what? I'm going to put an extra note in our project management app to ensure that our project manager covers this thing when we're out here spraying. Oh, wow. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you've got to build the value.
You're separating yourself, like you're really separating yourself.
Hey, I didn't even think of that. Oh, you didn't think that there could be a company that doesn't care about your great grandfather's meridian plant here, and they're just going to shoot white paint all over it. Okay.
Heck yeah.
You gotta really just like understand that concept. So back to project management. It's you and your brother. How's he doing?
Good, man. He's picking it up well, and he, just has you
guys get along?
To learn. Yeah, we get along fine. I mean, I came up on a crew of dudes that are like real,
rough.
Just real rough construction.
From you wanting to leave.
Yeah, bingo, yeah, exactly.
So yeah, where I'm getting at is you have an extraordinary advantage. Is that having your brother somebody you can trust. Trust is huge in business. Trust is necessary for growth.
Well, and when it comes somebody that wants to like do well for you, somebody that wants to try,
huge. And you're giving him an opportunity. It's going to help his family and all that. What is stopping you from hiring another person?
Bro, I can't even lie, dude. I got a deck and half an exterior repaint that I painted the street side of last fall. And that's like the one job I have out in front of me that isn't in like some, in between stage with me.
How long is that going to take to do that job?
Oh, that's easily like a nice little like 3-week month job.
Why do you feel like you have to be on that job full time? Because that's a 3-week buffer, bro.
Yeah,
that is a buffer where you can take someone with some painting experience, plug them into that, let them work for 3 weeks while you figure out how to find another job. And your problem is you feel like you got to be hands-on to get it done right. You don't. You just need to be there, and you can oversee and teach. You have a buffer right now. That's how hiring is going to go for the rest of your business experiences. Bringing on people when you're not ready.
Got you.
But let me tell you something. With your brother, hey, it's your brother. Hey, bro, I couldn't get work this week. Easy, right?
Yeah, but when it's a guy that signed up with you and is relying on you and et cetera,
guess what happens?
He
You
finds somewhere else.
become,
Yeah.
no, it ain't about him. It's about you. You become very resourceful because you know that you made a promise to somebody, and guess what? You're gonna find a way to find work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
a
for
lot
sure.
different. It's a lot different. And trust me, you have a 3-week window. And honestly, if you take yourself out of the job, okay,
That's a
that
4-week
opens up
window. Yeah.
4-week window.
Yeah.
So it's like, bro, like as a business owner, yeah, you're taking the hit. You're not making all your money on that job. You're making a portion because you're giving it to the next guy, but you're building a team.
Yeah, true that.
You
It's
know what
just
I'm
like,
saying?
yeah, it's just for me, like, and I know you know this, but it's like from the infancy of the stage of this business and how like integrally involved I've been in all of it. It's like, just, I know I should, I know I oughta. It's just hard for me to like let go of that
No, bro,
control.
I want to be very, very clear. You have to. It's not should or oughta. It's you have
Yeah.
to, or you're going to fail. Like you're in an infancy stage that you've been in way too long.
Yeah, got you.
Because you know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest.
Yeah,
I
for
want
sure.
you to
No,
get
you're good.
the right information here because this could dictate what you do next, this conversation. I'm just being honest. You have got to do this or you will always be in this spiral circle. Do you understand? You're always
Yeah,
going
no,
to
I
be
feel you.
there. You're going to be either lacking cash flow. You know, let me put it this way. Think of 3 water faucets. Okay. Ready? Can you
Yeah.
picture them? Okay. So right now, your production water faucet is about a quarter of the way turned. It's a slow stream. You see that?
Yeah.
Can you picture that? Okay.
Yeah.
Your sales water faucet is completely dry. You have no estimates. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any estimates?
Yeah, I got a couple right now.
All right. Turn it 1/10. You get a little bit of a, maybe a drip. Okay. Not to be confused with Dripjobs. All right. And then the third water faucet is what? Come on, bro. You have production, you have sales. What's the third one?
Management. I don't know.
Marketing. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Your
Gotcha.
marketing one is crusty.
It's rusty.
Okay?
It doesn't want to turn.
Dry rotted. There's nothing happening there. Okay. So, with that being said, they're connected. The marketing one isn't producing any water for the sales.
She isn't
And
producing
the
any
sales
water
aren't producing anything for the production. Okay.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So I'm trying to trickle down from an empty bowl. Yeah.
Well, you're running out of all resources right now until you turn on the marketing valve over here.
Gotcha.
Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Got it. Okay, cool. So the marketing valve needs to be turned on wide open. Don't worry about the money, bro. The marketing valve, by default, law of averages. You do enough marketing, you're going to get enough estimates. You do enough estimates, you're going to get sales. You've got to understand this as a business owner. It's an investment. Is this your first business?
Yeah, man, definitely.
Beautiful. Love it, man. I'm so excited for you. You have to understand this concept when it comes to money. When you were an employee, what did you do? You made your paycheck, and what'd you do? You threw it in the bank, right?
Bingo. Paid all my bills.
Paid all your bills, and then you save what was left. That was it. That's all you had to do.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
It was easy. It was so easy.
As a business owner, there's another step there that no one teaches you. School failed to do this. It would have been a really easy class. I could come in and teach it in one 15-minute course. They could pay me. I travel all over the world to teach this concept if I could. Ready?
Yes, sir.
When you get money, the first thing you do is you invest so you can make more. Then you spend.
Yeah.
Then you save. Okay.
But you got to keep it coming in.
The only way you keep it coming in is by putting it out.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay? So, but at some point in the beginning, that's the first hard hit, is putting it out. And then from there, every dollar that you make should produce you enough to put back in. So the business becomes self-sufficient, like a big circle.
Gotcha.
Okay. The initial investment is essentially what you would use it's kind of like pulling the cord on a lawnmower.
Yeah.
Right. But picture the lawnmower being self-sustaining at that point.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah,
so those concepts.
Once you get it fired, it's firing on its own. Yeah.
Of course, because you're taking $100 and you're saying, okay, for my marketing, I'm going to put $10 so I can make $125 next time. Oh, I have $125. Okay, great. So now I'm going to put the $10 again, but now I can save the 15 out of that 100. You see what I'm saying? Like how that works? It's like that initial pull is going to create you the results, but you have to understand that concept pretty well to make sure it happens.
Yeah.
So for me,
Yeah.
I have marketing on full stream all the time, all the time. There's always marketing happening, whether it's just organic marketing from Google, just coming in, phone calls, our phone number on vans, paid home advisor, Facebook ads, like it's always on. So then our sales is always on, and then our production's always on, dude. It never stops.
Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. But it starts at the top. Yeah.
Starts at the top. So I hope that kind of gave you some clarity on really what's going to happen if you don't do this. Okay. But the thing is that great marketing requires great sales, which we covered. Okay. Which I feel like you're going to elevate from here, and then great production. And then great production is a result of you not doing it. That's not great production. If you're doing it, that is not great production. That is you're running all over the place. And then you got to give someone else the ability to do the work.
Yeah, because otherwise I got to be there for it to get done. And
you can help early on. You can help. I'm not saying you can't help, but you've got to be building that up. Like you've got to find someone else to work alongside your brother so you can go do an estimate without feeling pressured.
Yeah. Well, also just like you got to put people in a position to fail for the. I mean, that's the only way I ever learned how to fix stuff painting is somebody put me in a spot where I fucked up and pardon the language, and I had to fix it and figure it out. And so it's like if I don't create that for somebody else, I'm always there to fix it, and I'm always there to just do it for them. It's a problem, and they're never going to pick it up and never learn that skill. So I hear you. Absolutely,
man. And I want to ask you this, a little personal, but this is like a health check. Do you have $1,000?
Yeah.
Okay. So essentially the way it should work, are you financing your paint?
I usually take a deposit. But
no. Are you when you go to the paint store, do you pay cash every time?
I just slap it on my business card.
Perfect. Okay. So you finance the paint, in other words.
Yeah, bingo. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You put it on a business. You don't use the Sherwin-Williams account?
Just the town I'm in right now. We just got to bend more here.
So. Oh, you used to bend more? They don't have financing?
I know that like my buddies just rack up a bill there all month and get a bill at the end of the month.
Yeah, it's you, but it's 0%, just so you know. I don't know if that's what you get on your card.
No, that's a good point though. I'll definitely have to check that out.
Yeah, 0% usually is what they do. Anyway, just so you know, like that's freeing up your cash flow for this initial spark that you're trying to do. You gotta have enough to sustain your worker, which the job will pay for that. You gotta have enough to sustain yourself, and then you gotta have enough to invest in marketing off the bat. So for you should put all your paint for the next month on a card or on this account, so you don't have to pay for that with the deposits. The deposits are going to
put that in marketing so I can.
Yes, the deposits can be used for marketing and of course employees. Okay. All right. And usually marketing, you have a little buffer of time before you have to pay that, but the employees can't wait. So the employees are the first one that you pay. And then again, that cycle. So again, what I'm saying is that you have an opportune time period. You do have a job that could go 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I think you should put out an ad today and see what you get. Being honest, because I don't think you're going to have this opportunity just as golden as what you have right now. And honestly, you have to see what you're looking for, and that's important. So do you see your brother as somebody who can run a job without you?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I've just been like in the thick of it just because there's so many from exterior to exterior. I know, there's just like, you might do this on one exterior and the very next exterior, that would be the wrong way. And so like,
again, I'm not saying that you can't be a part of the operation. You just can't be the operation.
Gotcha. Yeah. I totally feel confident in terms of his communication abilities with other people and like his understanding.
He understands the dynamic of the job. He can do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you don't really need a project manager, right?
No.
He's the project manager, right?
I mean, definitely, especially if I were to bring on another person and leave those two people
because
behind.
We just got to understand what we're looking for, because your hiring challenge drops dramatically with not having to find someone that can run a job, bro. Just so you know, you have a goal, bro. Hear me, please. You have a golden opportunity right now, dude. Please listen to me, and you will hit another point. You're going to make a hire this week. You have to, bro, because ultimately, like, you have an ideal project manager in your brother. You have money. You have, a job that you can string out and put this guy on to just give you some time to find another one. And then the momentum never stops. You're always going to be chasing that next job to keep your team busy, chasing. And then eventually it builds up and you're like, okay, cool. I need to add another guy and get another team. And then eventually you have this organization.
Beautiful.
You know what I'm saying? But it starts.
Yeah, but it starts now. Yeah, it's go time.
But yeah, it's go time. But you got to realize though, this guy's project manager, your brother. Okay. So hear me out. You don't need a project manager. You need somebody who maybe at some point has either painted or worked in construction that you can mold into being somebody that jives with your brother. So you're really looking for somebody that wants to work in the trades, that you can pull out their personality and say, yeah, he's gonna work well with my brother. He's gonna listen to me. I can tell he's gonna show up on time. I could tell he's invested in learning. How much would you pay for someone like that per hour?
Oh, like just for somebody to start with not actually a ton of painting experience.
Say he has some painting experience. Let's say he can cut.
$20 an hour.
Love it, dude. You're ready. You're motivated.
It's well worth it for me and to keep somebody on, so.
Now, let me ask you this, legality wise, do you have anything set up for payroll? Do you have anything that makes sure that taxes are being taken out?
Nah.
Okay. So we need to get that, because ultimately when you bring someone into your world, you're taking responsibility, and that's probably a hurdle that you're like, I don't understand. So let's talk about it. So I had the same issue when I first started. I had no workers' comp, didn't even know what it was or why I needed it.
Right.
Had no payroll. Okay. Didn't know what it was or why I needed it. Just here, write the check.
Just thundering on. Yeah.
I think we've all been there. Okay. So really what I just want you to understand is that, dude, there's so many good programs now that just make it so freaking easy, dude. So one that I love is called Gusto. It's an online program. The initial setup takes like an hour and a half. You put in your company information, you put in the guy's email that you hire. Okay. And essentially it sends him an email. He onboards, puts in all of his information. You don't have to worry about paperwork. You don't got to do nothing. End of the week, all you do is say, hey, Joe made 40 hours, and it cuts the check out of your bank account, takes the taxes out, pays the tax agencies, gives Joe his money in his bank account, and it facilitates workers' comp. Workers' comp comes out as well.
Damn, dude. That's a one-stop shop right there, dude. I like that.
Bro, it's under $100 a month.
And you said it's called Gusto?
Gusto. And there's a link for those listening in the description of my podcast, and I'll send you the link. So if you guys are interested in Gusto, that was not a planned spot, but it's just important because I use Paychecks, which is like an agency that facilitates it for you. But this is way better because you have the power and it's way cheaper. So after we get off of this, I'll give you a little more information on that. But essentially, again, don't let that be the hurdle stopping you from taking applications, please.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you could take applications today, and I can help you align that within the next couple of days to where when that guy actually comes on, boom, he's in there and boom. But you need to be doing that for your brother, and you need to be paying yourself. And those are some things that you need to be thinking about. Your brother should be getting a paycheck through a payroll system at this point.
Yeah, definitely.
Because he's going to want to do a tax return at the end of the year.
Yeah, for sure. And then I'm gonna be in some shit for sure. Gotcha.
Well, we want to get you out of that now, and it's not too late. Okay, you got to just do it now. These are business owner decisions that need to be made. They're hard, they suck, they cost money, but guess what? It's your foundation. You can't expand your company on a weak foundation. It will come back.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the crack will form if you don't get it set up right.
The crack's forming. It's just a matter of how high you want to go with the form crack. Go down and fix the damn crack.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
I'm with you. All right. So a couple action steps, man. Number one, never tell anyone again that they have to ask them their budget ever. Number two, Gusto, man. Let's get that up and running. Number three, applications for hiring. $20 an hour is what you're going for. We need workers' comp. I know you need workers' comp. Do you need workers' comp in Oregon?
We need workers' comp in Oregon. We got a pretty cheap
facilitate
company out
easy.
Yeah.
Just don't worry about you're starting a business that really requires zero startup costs. You literally started it so cheap. There's no office. You don't need an office. You're probably running with your vehicle that you had. You literally paid nothing to get started, right?
That's the whole thing that got me into it, man. Just I worked in other trades. I worked in other things, and the barrier to entry was so low on painting. Yeah, exactly.
So low.
I could actually do it.
Now it's time to invest, bro.
Got you.
So you validated your idea. You've made some money. Now let's legitimize. So this is something that gives you a foundation for the rest of your life, your family. Maybe you pass this on to your 4-year-old who's going to be taken over when he gets older or she gets older, and have a legacy to leave behind instead of, something different.
Yeah, no, well, like I started to learn from like a third gen painter, and like whenever I just like started to process that and like what a leg up like his dad gave him, that his dad gave him, and just like a
Yeah, but guess
real
what? This guy that you're telling me about doesn't seem like the ideal business owner. You know, we had a brief conversation about the equipment that he used and the environment that was created. So take what you loved,
for
now
sure.
take what you wish was there and create that based off of what you saw, and you will have a business that people enjoy coming to work to.
Definitely, for sure, man.
You know, but you got to have that foundation right. So we'll talk a little bit more, man. I'd love to chat with you more. Was this helpful?
Dude, this was so incredibly helpful. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time, and I really like. I'm grateful that you just give it so freely, dude. It means a lot to me.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I want to see you succeed. Brother, I'm going to cut this off. We'll chat for a little bit afterwards. And we'll catch you maybe on the next one, dude. Maybe we'll do another one of these after you hit another threshold.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it.
Awesome, man.
Sweet, dude. Thank you, man.
Hey, I just want to take a second to thank you for joining me here on the Contractor Secrets podcast. I'm just going to take this opportunity to let you know that my passion is coaching people, helping people. I've changed my Instagram name to @contractorcoach, and I did that because that is my passion. I want to help you. So please reach out to me. If you have an issue going on in your business, send me an email. Find me on Instagram, message me, and let's do a breakthrough session. I want to work through your problems in your business to help you get to that next level. And one thing that I always say is this, you know, the difference between those that get over the humps and the hurdles in business is just a change in perspective. And that's what I plan to offer you. So get with me, message me, allow me to help you take your business to the next level.